Well, hello everybody, welcome to Loco'S train set. And as I think the title says, it's an update of everything. So below me is all my new acquisitions recently, and there's one there that you've not seen before. So let's get on with this, shall we? Lovely model this. Basically it's worked. After putting in the ESU decoders supplied by Richard at Road and Rails, it worked. All except for, well, a couple of things really, but combined together. The cockpit light didn't come on, the cabin light didn't come on, and nor did the steps that are supposed to illuminate at the same time. So I mentioned this to Richard, and he wasn't really sure, but he'd had a customer's flirt, which was a 4 car, the same as mine, and they didn't work either. So he thought he'd go back to the providers of the sound files and ask and say, is there any difference between the 4 car and the 3 car? Because all these other ones have been 3 cars. And he said he'd let me know the outcome. Well, no, he didn't, but I did email him again to ask. And he said basically it were the contacts inside the flirts that weren't contacting, which is why it didn't work. So I'm assuming he sorted out his customer's flirt and delivered it to him. So I emailed a reply and asked him if he'd tell me how he got the body off to do that, because there isn't any instructions in Hornby's sheets on how to actually take the bodies off. Yes, how to take the body off with a little bit, you know, with the diesel engine in, where you put the extra decoder, but not the main bodies. So I'll explain as we go through. But he didn't so far. And I will update this if it changes before this video goes out. I thought the best thing to do was just to have a look at the underside of one of these and see how easy or not it is to take the body off. So turn it upside down in the cradle, and the only screw I can see is this one right at the front. Looked all the way along. We've got the problem with the bogies in the middle of the 2 carriages, and I think they do come apart, but yeah. And at the other end nothing, so you know, is it just clips? But I've got no way of knowing. So the Hornby Key Model World Special Edition Cross Country HST Class 43 set has worked lovely, and it's fine. So yeah, very happy with it. I'll have to do some more running with it, won't I, up in the loft. So the Acura Scale Class 50, D424 or whatever it is, I can't remember, is okay. After my stupidity with the lights and not understanding how they're supposed to work on this older incarnation of the Class 50s, i.e. an early one, it all works lovely. So yeah, I'm happy with it, it's running, and that's great. So the Acura Scale Class 50 50014, it's okay, it is running well. What amazed me is, me included, only one person that watched the video on that saw that there was something missing. I didn't. So well done to him, but he had bought 10 of these, so perhaps he was a bit more tuned in. So I've done a bit of an update on just replacing the bit that was missing, and it wasn't loose in the packaging, as you'll see. It was missing. So let's do that and we'll see what it looks like at the end. So yeah, that slot on the right hand side is supposed to have one of those little what's-her-names. So I got in contact with Acura Scale and they very kindly sent me one in this huge box for what it is, but there we are, we've got it. And then yes, it was a case of fitting it, wasn't it? And you know, I'm not the most agile, so I thought I'd put it up in like that. And you know, it's tiny, like most things on our railways, aren't they? So I put some glue, as you can see there, and then tried it. I needed 2 pairs of tweezers to actually get it to go in. It's not the best fit, but yeah. So there we are, all sorted, lovely. So the Daypole Black Label A4s, you might sort of imagine that I've had a lot of trouble with these. To be honest, you're not wrong. So I've done a fair bit of twiddling with these, and it's not wholly successful, I've got to say. But they are a beautiful engine, and I'm still glad, I think, now I've got them. But as I said before, if I'd have known what I was going to go through with them, I might not have ordered them and saved myself a lot of well, buggering around really. But anyway, I'll explain what I've done, and I wanted to show them running. So you'll see that at the end of the segment. So let's have a look at what I noticed. So as she comes over this point, yeah, she does that, and I think it's because she's binding up. It's almost too tight for this bit of track, I don't know. Have a look at that a bit slower, shall we? As you can see, it lifts up quite a bit, but doesn't derail. So, yeah, really strange. Having broken one of the couplings apart and had to clip it back together again, I now uncouple the tenders. So here we've got both of them upside down. Union of South Africa on the left and Woodcock on the right. And Union of South Africa as it came from the factory. And Woodcock, as you can see, I've sort of thinned the ends out to give it a bit more play on that bogie. So I've run both of these over this point, and I keep getting different things. I seem to have stopped with Woodcock the bogie lifting by doing that, but the Union of South Africa doesn't do it anyway. And you might notice that it's sort of there's some sort of thing in the way on the track, but I've looked and I can't find what it is. I'm playing around with the spacing of the wheels, the tracking, and yeah, I just do not know. But as you'll see in a minute, they do run, so you know, and it doesn't derail, it just almost jumps off the track if you do it fast enough. But yeah, there we are. There you can see, yep. So that was the Union South Africa. Now we go to Woodcock. And yes, as I said, I think I've stopped it lifting that bogie up. But depending on how fast you do them, you get different sort of outcomes. Nice and slow like that, it's not too bad. Although you can see it wobble. Yeah. So the Acura Scale again, J68, the buck jumper. Nothing but praise for it. It's been absolutely superb. It runs with the stay alive in. It doesn't stall. Not that that's a big problem on my downstairs layout, or on my upstairs for that matter. I know some people have had lots of trouble with these, so it's a lottery, isn't it? We just buy them and hope they're going to be the perfect one that's come out of the factory, and I do believe I've got that one. So very happy indeed I am. Well done, Acura Scale. So the day pole for Thor Leslie, 040. Only the second one of a 040 Loco I have, and the other one's an old Hornby diesel. Yeah, super little engine. It hasn't got a stay alive, but it runs over my layout here pretty good. I would say it doesn't stall occasionally, but when you keep the track clean and the wheels clean, it will perform. So quite pleased with that. So yeah, another manufacturer providing a locomotive that works, out the box, not a hassle. Great. So yeah, I suspect maybe the eagle-eyed of you on that photo with them all lined up in my fiddle yard, I noticed there wasn't the Ginty. Yes, there was the Hornby Ginty that hasn't got any workings in it, but that was it. So what's happened to that? Well, quite a bit really. In this segment I'll explain what I tried to do to get it to work and what happened to it in the end. So keep watching, and for an engine you haven't seen, there's an awful lot about it. So after running it in, I wasn't much better, so I tried to oil it. It was dry, completely dry. So I put some grease on and oiled the connecting rods. Was it better? Not really. Bit disappointing, I think. Does seem to be a little bit better one way than the other, but yeah, that would have probably been all right. So I thought, I don't know if you saw Charlie Bishop's bit on back MBF or whatever it's called, where he ran the train. As soon as he gets it, the engine, he runs it on a bit of track. I can't do that because I haven't got a programming track long enough. But I thought I'd have a look at it because he told us what ones to look at. And that's what I've done. So I went down to, I think, CV54, which is where they all are. And I sort of clicked on them, and on this Hornby control unit that I use, E-Link, it sort of shows what they should be. So, you know, the factory setting basically, and what I noticed was that none of them were the same. They weren't set to it. They were all at naught. Now whether this is because, you know, this can't read it properly, I don't know. Anyway, I set them all to what it showed, and did it help? A certain amount, but still not enough to make me happy and use it. So what did I do? Oh, I phoned them up, and I'm going to have it swapped for something else. So I said in the intro that there was something you hadn't seen, and it's obviously what you're about to see now, which is the Clark Works Quad Art coaches. Now I quite like the look of these, and I plumped for one of the sets that is preserved up in Norfolk, as it happens, so my side of the country. So yeah, let's do a bit on those, shall we? Haven't really done a proper unboxing or anything. If you want to see more on them, let me know in the comments. So they were quite well wrapped, as you can see, and this is the end of the box. I did think of getting both sets, but nearly 300 quid odd, it's a lot of money. But yeah, nicely presented, nice box, well packed, all right. You get all these signs and you can stick them on the little bit that's illuminated there at the back on the back carriage. They actually connect together very easy. It's just a pin and they drop in and there's a spring-loaded connection. So they're very short, these really are short. Rather than an update, it's more a down date, as you'll see. But you know, the layout and the loft, yeah, I've not really done anything to it. In fact, I took this out from the level crossing because the Ginty would get caught on it. We've got some of the brickwork unsticking, and you might notice I've cut off the bits where I had a sort of a follow through because I got fed up with it being in the way. It took me a long time to do it, but in the end I did it and I axed it off. So yeah, that's about it for this. Oh, and yes, I have added something, a lot of dust, a lot of dust. So the end to end, yeah, not a lot, in fact nothing. Just been too hot, been busy with the filming of the new Loco'S, and that's it, you know. This is the one for those carriages that I've just shown you. We've got Lord L looking out and his lav, and you've seen this before, haven't you? You know, and these workmen will take a long time.